Hey everybody, welcome back to Mad Money Murph. This is market updates with Mad Money Murph. Today is Friday, June 17th, 2022. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Um, we'll go ahead. The markets, go ahead and go over the markets now. Pretty kind of a blah day. Not really a lot going on today. So with that said, let's get it. The market cap of cryptos is still below 900 billion, sitting at 890 billion. It's been below 1 trillion here for a little while. Bitcoin, not a lot of movement today, which is kind of nice. Things are maybe settling down a little bit. Bitcoin was down 2% to 20,576. I did hear earlier that Bitcoin did get down below that 20,000 mark. So we'll see where that goes. Ethereum down 2.14% to $1,085. Binance Coin nearly unchanged. Cardano is sitting at the number 7 by market cap spot, down just 0.22%, and that's just recent, because it was pretty flat or up mostly for the day today. I am giving you just the 24-hour moving averages. Cardano's down to 48 cents, almost 49. XRP at number 8 is up 0.36%. I wish it was up 36. 0.36% to just under 32 cents. Solana in at number 9 is up 0.2%, 0.20 to $31.34. That one's just gotten crushed. Dogecoin still holding on to the number 10 spot by market cap, up 0.41%, and that one is sitting at 0.056 cents. Wow, down from, I think the high was in the 70 cents range. Unbelievable. And I have a feeling that one's going to go down even more. I could see it going down even to like a penny. With as many, they need to figure out how maybe they can burn some of those. With as many that come out every day, it's kind of amazing that it's even at 5 cents. All the way down to number 17 is Shiba Inu, down 0.06, so pretty close to unchanged. And recently added a zero here. It is now sitting at 0.00000. That's 5 zeros. 8143. That one's just been hammered as well. Biggest gainers on the day: Sirin Labs, SIRIN, Sirin Labs token up 427%. Handy up, that's with an H. Handy is up 330%, and Ingress is up 264%. I don't necessarily know, again, what those coins are. I just like to just give you that for informational purposes. I pretty much stick within the top 10 in my investing with crypto, other than a couple of other, speculative plays. I did invest a little bit. I jumped on the bandwagon with Dogecoin and Shiba. Unfortunately, I let that get the best of me. But I mostly deal with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and some other more important to me coins, things that I think are gonna go somewhere and be here in the next few years. Speaking of that, there's a headline coming up here when we get to the stocks, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. We'll wait till the headline. I'll get to the headline and we'll go through that. Something that I'm seeing with the cryptocurrency market, and how it relates to things that have happened in the past. So let's move on over to the stocks. The Dow Jones was down 38 points to 29,888. So it still is below that 30,000 mark. The S&P 500 nearly unchanged. It is up 8 points to 3,674 points. In the NASDAQ, it was up 152 points. to 10,798. And the NASDAQ, it looks to me mostly because the big tech moved a little bit today. Apple up 1%, Alphabet up 1%, Microsoft 1%, Amazon up 2.5%, Meta up almost 2%, and Tesla up almost 2%. So I would expect that's most of that. Maybe possibly some retail and maybe a little bit of institutional buyers getting back in a little bit to those. So that's what's happening with the markets now. I like to go over some of the headlines and some of the headlines that have caught my eye. Let's see here. I did want to mention from CNBC earlier today, FBI says fraud on LinkedIn a significant threat to the platform and consumers. I honestly had no idea of any type of threat or fraud that could or would happen, but it does make sense now that I'm seeing the headline. The headline actually made me start thinking about how that could happen, and I think there's a lot of things that could happen on any of these social platforms where fraud can, anywhere the fraudsters can get a hold of people and their money or whatever, they will. So just be cautious when you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, all those. Here's another one that was really caught my eye. Vox today says Amazon's workforce turnover is so high that it could run out of people to hire by 2024. It really doesn't surprise me at all. This seems to be, it's a pattern with a lot of these large companies as they're growing and they get to a certain point. Amazon's been growing for 20 plus years, and they get to a certain point where the growth is happening, and then all of a sudden, the last 2 years, it's almost straight up and down. And what happens is the workforce gets overworked, underpaid, and then they just get to the point where they're overworked so much that there's just no end in sight, right? And I think that's what's happening there. I didn't read the article, but I can definitely understand why the turnover is so high. And I've seen and heard things about the way that they work, and it's such a well-oiled machine, but that well-oiled machine comes at a price, right? Where people are forced to just keep working when it's time for a break. And again, this is stuff that I've heard, and it's just a machine. It's just a machine. It's just a machine. It just keeps going and going and going. There's not a lot of time for people to gather their thoughts and take a break and things like that. So USA Today, flight cancellations top 1,200 on Friday, second day of air travel woes. I don't see any end in sight. I've talked about that before too. I don't see any end in sight with that. The airlines are just having such major problems, issues. You got fuel, you've got fuel prices, you've got severely underemployment. They need pilots, they need help everywhere within the whole system. So I don't see any help coming to that anytime soon. Next, ABC 13. This must be a TV station out of Texas. Property tax values double at rate never seen before for Texas homeowners. Again, none of this stuff surprises me. The governments have to get their money somehow, and a lot of that is because Texas has been growing so much, so fast over the last few years that property values have increased. We've had the same exact thing happen in Colorado. In fact, in Colorado, it's been for even longer than just the last few years. But property values increase so much because of the demand that the taxes increase. So sorry, I didn't mean to. It's not necessarily about politicians. It's more about It's more about supply and demand, people moving in, people have moved in there, a lot of people have the safety of taxes and things like that. That's what I was trying to say. And of course, as your property values increase, you're going to pay more in property taxes. So I can see it. And here in Colorado, not necessarily doubled, but it's been a very, very, very steady increase. Next one, last headline, but I just wanted to get this one out there. From the National Review, gas prices, dealing with gas prices, and Biden threatens energy CEOs with government action. I think that he has completely missed the mark on this, and I've been seeing this last week how people are starting to join the bandwagon of well, the oil, gas and oil companies are gouging us. Folks, that could not be further from the truth. Don't believe any of that. It's all FUD. That it's unbelievable to me. I've seen this type of thing happen so many times in my close to 50 years on this planet, and this just upsets me to no end. Regardless of how you feel or believe, I'm going to tell you what I feel and believe. Things took a turn when Biden stopped a bunch of the leases, stopped the pipeline from happening. Gas prices immediately started going up. And don't get me wrong, I understand that some of these oil and gas companies are having record earnings and record profits. I understand that. So I'm not saying that they don't have some of the blame, because they do have some of the blame. But for Biden to come out and basically say that and threaten them, I think is so wrong. It's totally wrong. They are for-profit companies. Whether they're gouging or not, I don't believe they are. I believe that we'll find out that they're not gouging us. Of course, none of us like it, but I do think that this is one of his just a play for him and his team, because they're making so many of the wrong moves. So that's my take on it. Whether you believe that or not, let me know in the link below. I could be totally off my rocker. I don't think I am. These things happen in cycles, and the oil and gas leases is a big deal. And the Biden administration has cut those oil and gas leases. I don't know the exact numbers, but they have cut them down so much for their Green New Deal that it's affecting this. So on to the gold and silver and oil, and then we'll wrap it up. Doing this live again. We'll see how these live ones turn out. I'll continue to do them live here for the next week or so and see how that's turning out. It looks like I'm getting a little bit talky here. Gold down $19.90. Of course, as the stuff hits the fan, right? Everything goes down, gold goes up, and then as soon as everything else starts to kind of even out, it's typical where gold and silver take a dive, and it did. Gold down $19.90 to $1,380.80, and silver was down on the day 31 cents to $21.66. So hate to see that, but I know that the price where it's at, it still has very similar buying power as it did 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. So I don't freak out too much. I just, some of you, if you watch this channel, know I'm a believer in gold and silver, and I wish it would just go crazy. Oil down today, $7.90, down to $109.68. Will we see any of that? No, we're not going to see any of the change there. It's still way too high per barrel, and we're still importing way too much for that decrease to show up in any of our gas tanks. So with that said, Thank you for watching. If you get anything out of these videos, please be sure to like and subscribe, and um, help me reach my goal. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by November 30th. So smash that like button, subscribe. If you know of anybody else who could use this educational information, please be sure to share with them as well. All right. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate you guys. Mad Money Murph signing out. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back. And then for any of you fathers out there, have a happy Father's Day. All right. I'll be with my wife and 2 kids, in fact, and we're having my father over for a barbecue. So that'll be fun. And I hope all of you have a great weekend as well. And for the fathers, happy Father's Day. All right. Take care. Bye now.